You took away her pain. I don't know what to say. Thank you, thank you. I swear I will never harm her again. I swear it. I'll stay here to keep her company. But these poor souls, what can be done for them? I've tried everything I can. I fear the only one capable of releasing them properly is whichever god doomed them in the first place. In any case, I must honor our bargain. Here's the key I promised you. It opens a chest in the Shrine of Apollo. I believe there are a few things in there which may be useful to Lucretia.
Damn. Okay.
Now, please leave. The door here leads out onto the palace balcony. You should be able to make your way down from there.
Goodbye.
Go, and never return.
Dude! My lord, what a sequence of events. Wow. 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 Can I just talk to her? No, I can't. Interesting. I'm hitting E and nothing's happening. Okay. Really intriguing story. I completely agree. Make her golden. I think that'll end all this, and I don't want to do that. Okay. So let's go to the Shrine of Apollo. Now, is this quest complete? For some reason, I feel like earlier we already opened this chest, but I have no idea how. Yeah, here's the person that's always filling the water up, by the way. Interesting. Where is the Shrine to Apollo? Is that the place where they do the votes? Maybe? Hide the bow? Nah, that's cool. Okay, fine. I think I got my super flashlight. Here. Is this the Shrine to Apollo? No, maybe not. Oh, hold up. Oh. Yo! All right. Cool. It's the wheel dude. There he is. Okay. Coggers. That's right. Well said. Well said, chat. This is that under area that we found earlier. Bottle of wine. Yeah, possibly the last bottle of wine in the city. The place is called Accursed. Here, Titios offers his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and falls after himself and flees, and the 49 Belides who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands, fetch again with incessant labor the water they have lost. So I think the patterns that Livia probably has found out is that she realizes that they're trapped in this, like, cycle that it seems the other people they know from Legends have been in too. Well, apparently this isn't the last bottle of wine, because that's the second one I found. In this area, no less. Jeez. Okay. You know what I want? I want some golden eggs. Boop! Yeah. These look valuable. Oh, I bet we could have traded this to the dude for the medical treatment. For the 1,000 medical treatment. Yep. Speaking of which, let's go talk to him. Hi, I'm the guy you locked in there. Yeah, how you doing? How's your mother? Tell her I said hello. Hi. Yes. This is the sinner. We haven't talked to him yet. We still need to talk to him. Where is he? Isn't he around here? I thought it was like right there. Is he at the door? No. Where'd he go? Say anything to you?
You
had a tragic accident.
and
I had... If I said yes, I'd be admitting to murder.
I don't understand. Oh, I see. Oh, I should probably keep my big mouth shut then. Sorry, I promise. Nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. That was really clever. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Me
Oh,
too.
speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia.
Hi, Fabia.
Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Need anything?
What's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can.
You seem nice. How'd you end up here?
I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me, a fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came
one
down
sec.
with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am.
Same thing we've heard a bunch of times. That's odd. Most of the others were in Rome before they woke up in the forest, but you're saying you were a day's ride away?
Oh yeah, I suppose you're right. Hadn't really thought about it. But the gods are mysterious and powerful. Who knows what their plans are for us?
Huh. Do you know a way out of here?
What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables, and Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes, and Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us. Well, he does his best. I'm just saying, there are worse places you could live out your days.
Yeah, the shrine... You know what? Never mind. I don't belong here.
Well, I can tell from your funny accent you're not from around here, but that doesn't mean you don't belong, does it?
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Oh, I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about, will we?
I like your optimism.
Thanks. And I like your teeth.
Oh, one sec.
They're so white. And your clothes. Oh, I bet my friend Georgius would like to get a look at you. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the Golden Rule with you too. He'll be just across the forum in his shop. All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
I take it you've cleared the way to the baths? Follow me, but don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Okay, that's 2 of the 4 contractors down today. Woo! Is it fiber? No, it's not. Unfortunately, none of the stuff today is about fiber. The last I heard from fiber was that really nice date that we had planned for the end of this month has been pushed back to mid next month. And I'm thrilled about it. So, yeah, there's that. This place is nice. Damn, dude. This is where she hangs out all day? Okay, okay. But yeah, basically what it... Whoa. Oh, nice. What it turns out is that it looks like they're the type of fiber that I'm getting to my house, and my new house is like down the road. It's kind of at the end of this like long road. And the state and everything that's doing it has not really done this type of thing before. They have not put this type of fiber like into a residential neighborhood. So the permits are taking longer than normal because I'm being told that they're having to like figure out how to do it. So we're gonna see I think they're trying to figure out all that. So basically government bureaucracy. Yeah, because we can count on that on being super fast here in the States. That's kind of where we are, unfortunately. Is that the algae stuff I can turn to gold? No, I don't think so. So anyway, hoping to get more details soon. They know I'm wanting it to get in as fast as possible, so they're doing what they can on their side, and I'll keep updating you guys. Hopefully we'll figure it out soon.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood.
Yes.
Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp.
Yeah.
But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it. Only your pronunciation is a little off. The name
That's
you
the
heard
coin where we
wasn't
picked if
Karen.
we were a dude or a
It
chick.
was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
That's awesome. Karen Charon.
Who, in
Okay.
exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased.
Oh my
cross the
God,
Styx,
we got this at the beginning.
river that separates the land of
This
the
is
living
this is so good.
from the land of the dead.
This is so good.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if
A
I sound
dead end. Oh,
cagey, it's
come
just
on.
that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This place is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river.
Interesting.
It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches.
So basically,
I know
yes,
it's
this
a
game
lot
is
to
Hades.
take in,
Yes.
And you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Hey, the Rouge God has just subbed. Well, thank you for that. It's a pleasure existing in your existence here. So was there a white hall before we came in here? No, there wasn't. Okay, good. Good. What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks. The only difference is that they spelled it with a kappa,
Be good,
which
chat.
I suppose means K-H-A-R-O-N.
Be good. Be good.
It's closer to the original spelling.
Oh, there it goes. Why didn't you recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described.
You did this, Cohh? I did nothing.
She, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you
Hey,
saw
Zrach,
a
how you
young
doing, bud?
woman named Karen with a hood. And I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Thanks for that, Anovis. Appreciate your $10 tip to the mod team. Thanks. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Why are you trying to keep? Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
That's all the questions I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Does this game have multiple endings? Can we just come the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. do so at your own peril.
What about your peril? Tell me about confronting Pluto head on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from?
Ah!
That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
How dare you? Hercules can manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day.
Hercules and his lesser-known friend Phil.
You know who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about it?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However,
yeah, I love her
this one
voice.
is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different
Just
style.
love it.
Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques. Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Weird. Where to find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true
The cult
God.
of Christ!
Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged
bless, by
their
the way.
beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy.
MDC, gosh darn
I did
Christians.
hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Where to find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius.
Okay.
His store is in the forum.
Where to find the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago.
Of course he did.
But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her. Or just take a look in his room.
Okay. And the mystery plaque.
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Tell me more about escape with the help of Proserpina, or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds.
Whoops.
So they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale.
I do
It's
like grim
said
tales.
The god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
Oh. That's kind of terrible.
It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in
The
your
whispering
travels?
statues. Yep.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now?
You didn't ask!
Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
Always the same voice, and she's helpful if a little cryptic, which is exactly what we would expect.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit.
Yep.
Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection.
Bingo.
Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
She said, wait against the current, and her tears run through the city, and she weeps where the water flows.
That is strange. There are no rivers here. Let me think on that.
Perhaps we need to get into the upper cistern.
Right, because the current flows into the city through the aqueduct and into the upper cistern. I vaguely recall wondering what was in there, but the door at the back of the great temple is locked up tight.
Can we go through the lower
You might be able
cistern?
to get a key from the magistrate, but if that doesn't work,
Oh, I
perhaps you
bet we
can
can
find
use the
another
golden
way
bow in there.
Let me know if you find anything in there.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm ready to get started.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
I'll have a chat with Livia.
In any case, time is of the essence.
Cohh, she
so
knows
we'd
too much.
best
You gotta take her
begin.
out. Oh, yeah.
May
First thing we're gonna do,
fortune
turn her to
guide
gold.
you.
Yeah.
Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
You gotta go, girl. You understand. You understand, right? You do, right? Right? Nope? Okay. Excuse me.
Are they?
Yes.